What if everything you've struggled with for 35 years wasn't struggle, but preparation? The chosen ones don't begin their real life after 35 by accident. There's ancient wisdom behind this timing, and if you've ever felt like your real life was waiting to begin, you're about to understand why. For 35 years, you've been collecting experiences, wounds, wisdom, and questions. Every person who felt different, every moment of not fitting in, every dark night of the soul, all of it was necessary. I spent decades thinking I was behind in life. Now I understand I was right on time. The spiritual awakening that happens after 35 isn't late blooming, it's perfect timing. Your soul needed those years to develop the depth required for your true work. There's a reason old souls often look young in their 40s. They've finally aligned with their authentic timeline. This isn't about age, it's about readiness. While others were building careers and families, you were building something deeper: spiritual resilience, emotional intelligence, and the kind of wisdom that only comes from walking through fire and choosing to keep your heart open. Today, we'll explore 5 profound truths about why your soul waited, and the one insight that will change how you see your entire journey. We're going to uncover truths that most people aren't ready to hear until they've lived enough to recognize them. The first truth might surprise you, but by the end, you'll understand that every year of waiting, every moment of feeling behind, every question of, when will my life really start, was actually your soul's perfect orchestration. Your real life didn't begin late. You've been preparing for greatness all along. Truth 1. Your soul required seasoning. Life felt harder for you than others. More sensitivity, deeper wounds, greater confusion. But this wasn't punishment or bad luck. Your soul came here to do work that requires emotional and spiritual maturity. Chosen ones begin after 35 because superficial purposes don't require suffering. Deep purposes do. Your pain wasn't random, it was curriculum. Think of a master chef. They don't season meat for 5 minutes. They marinate it for hours, sometimes days. Your soul has been marinating an experience. Every rejection taught you self-reliance. Every loss taught you impermanence. Every betrayal taught you discernment. At 34, I looked at my scars and saw failure. At 36, I looked at the same scars and saw preparation. The difference wasn't healing, it was understanding. You've wondered why sensitive people seem to suffer more. It's because they're being prepared for more. Your capacity for pain equals your capacity for wisdom. Your depth of feeling equals your depth of healing power. This isn't consolation. It's recognition of what you've actually been doing all these years. But seasoning alone isn't enough. The second truth reveals what you've been developing alongside that depth. Truth 2. You've been learning to see beyond illusion. You've always questioned things. Others accepted. Success metrics, relationship rules, even spiritual teachings. This questioning wasn't cynicism or rebellion. It was your soul, refusing to accept counterfeit experiences. Chosen ones awaken after 35 because it takes 3 decades to develop the discernment to distinguish authentic from artificial. You're not becoming spiritual. You're becoming real. A diamond cutter spends years learning to see what others can't, the true structure within the stone. Your questions have been training your inner vision. Every time you felt uncomfortable with someone's fake smile, you were developing authenticity radar. Every time you questioned why success felt empty, you were developing depth perception. Every time you walked away from what looked good but felt wrong, you were choosing truth over convenience. I used to apologize for seeing through things. People called me cynical, negative, hard to please. Now I understand that seeing through illusion isn't a flaw. It's a gift that needs time to develop. You've felt so alone because most people aren't ready to see what you see. But after 35, you stop caring about fitting in with people who prefer comfortable lies. This ability to see clearly connects directly to the third truth about what you've been carrying all along. Truth 3. Your heart carries ancient remembrance. You've always felt older than your years, carrying knowledge you couldn't explain or justify. This inner knowing isn't imagination or ego. It's soul memory, wisdom accumulated across lifetimes that needs time to integrate safely. Chosen ones begin after 35 because ancient wisdom can't be rushed into immature vessels. Your early years were spent building the character strong enough to carry deep truth. Ancient texts speak of initiates, spending decades in preparation before receiving profound teachings. Your life has been that preparation. Every crisis that forced you to look deeper, every relationship that taught you about human nature, every loss that connected you to the eternal, all of it was developing your capacity to hold wisdom without being crushed by it. Since childhood, I've known things I shouldn't know. I could sense what people weren't saying, feel the energy in rooms, understand patterns before they fully emerged. I spent years thinking I was strange, trying to shut it down, pretending to be normal. Now I understand that remembrance comes to those ready to use it wisely. Your strangeness was preparation for your purpose. But wisdom without integration becomes burden. The fourth truth reveals how your deepest wounds became your greatest initiation. Truth 4. Your wounds were sacred initiations. Your deepest pain, betrayal, loss, rejection, left marks that still ache. These weren't random tragedies or personal failures. They were initiations, breaking you open so light could get in. Chosen ones emerge after 35 because profound healing can't be rushed. Your wounds needed time to transform from trauma into wisdom, from pain into power. In ancient traditions, initiates were broken down before being built up. Your breakdown wasn't collapse. It was sacred reconstruction. Every betrayal taught you to trust your inner knowing over others' words. Every loss taught you what truly matters. Every rejection taught you that your worth doesn't depend on others' approval. The pain you thought would destroy you actually forged you into someone unbreakable. My heart shattered completely at 32. I thought it was the end of my story. The person I'd been trusting, optimistic, believing the best in everyone, seemed to die in that moment. At 37, I realized it wasn't the end. It was the beginning, not of a new me, but of the real me that was always there, waiting beneath the protective shells. The breaking wasn't destruction, it was emergence. You've wondered why your pain feels so intense, so disproportionate to what others seem to experience. It's because you weren't just healing your wounds, you were alchemizing them into gifts. But this alchemical process leads to the final and most profound truth. Truth 5. You're remembering your true nature. You're shedding old identities, letting go of who you thought you should be. This isn't personality change or midlife crisis. It's soul reclamation, removing everything that was never truly you. Chosen ones bloom after 35 because it takes decades to distinguish between who you are and who you were told to be. Your emergence isn't becoming someone new. It's uncovering who you've always been. Michelangelo said he didn't create David. He simply removed everything that wasn't David. Your life has been removing everything that isn't you. The pleasing personality, the acceptable dreams, the safe choices, all carved away to reveal the essential self underneath. This process couldn't happen at 25 because you needed to try being other people first to understand through contrast what authenticity actually feels like. At 35, I stopped trying to fix myself and started trusting myself. The difference wasn't healing. It was homecoming. I realized I'd been treating my sensitivity as a problem to solve instead of a gift to honor. I'd been trying to become who I thought I should be, instead of embracing who I'd always been. The moment I stopped fighting my nature and started working with it, everything changed. This return to your true nature isn't just personal, it's your contribution to the world. But here's what ties all 5 truths together and reveals why this timing is so crucial. These 5 truths reveal something profound. Your journey wasn't delayed, it was perfectly timed. Every experience before 35 was preparation for the person you're becoming. Being chosen isn't about being special. It's about being willing to do the inner work that transforms pain into wisdom, questions into clarity, and wounds into gifts. Your soul operates on sacred timing, not social timing. While others were building careers and checking boxes, you were building character and developing discernment. While others were accumulating achievements, you were accumulating wisdom. The world told you that you were behind, but your soul knew you were exactly on schedule. Tonight, journal on this. What if every difficult experience in your life was preparation rather than punishment? This week, notice where you're still trying to fit in instead of trusting what you know. Moving forward, honor the timing of your awakening instead of judging it. Your sensitivity is your superpower. Your questions are your guidance system. Your depth is your gift to a world drowning in superficiality. If you're over 35 and feeling like your real life is just beginning, you're not late, you're right on time. Your soul doesn't follow society's timeline. The same intensity that made you suffer is now your strength. The same knowing that made you feel alone is now your compass. The same authenticity that made you feel different is now exactly what the world needs. And this brings us to why sharing these truths matters so much. If these truths resonated, you're part of a rare tribe. Those who chose depth over speed, wisdom over success, authenticity over acceptance. You're not alone in this recognition. Around the world, people are awakening to these same realizations, understanding that their different timeline was actually their perfect timing. Share in the comments, which truth hit deepest? Let's recognize each other. Sometimes the most healing thing is simply knowing that others have walked this path and understand the sacred nature of your journey. This understanding is just the beginning. Subscribe if you're ready for more wisdom that honors the depth of your journey. Next week, we'll explore why your darkness holds your greatest gifts, truths about shadow work that will liberate you from the parts of yourself you've been trying to hide. Your awakening after 35 isn't late blooming, it's right on time. Trust the timing of your soul.